So we are in the end game of Cobra Kai, and because Netflix loves milking properties, we got part 1 of 3 for the last season, which
There's 3 seasons to this.
There's 3 parts to this last season.
So 3 parts to this last season.
Yeah, so they have been divided to like 3 5-episode parts. So this one was just like 5 episodes, which I freaking hate when they do that, especially with a show like this where it's like so easy to binge watch, and it's just like, come on, they do this shit. And at this point, is it really one more season? Like, come on. So the first part aired already. The second part is gonna air in November, and the third part is coming next year, 2025. So like they're like stretching it, milking it for all that they've got. I don't know if it it might have to do with like financials. Maybe they're gonna get Hilary Swank to reprise her role for like the final part of the season, because like, come on, she's a big name stay. Like, it hasn't.
Was she the after Daniel?
Yeah, she's from the next Karate Kid. And
the next Karate Kid. Oh, that was Hilary Swank. I didn't know that.
So they're expecting her to, or like really wanting her to like reprise her role. I'm not sure if she'd want to, but that'd be cool. But yeah, I have been more positive on like this whole show, because like it is what it is, and I f***ing love it. What are your thoughts on season 6 part 1 of Cobra Kai?
Season 6. It's funny that Netflix does that when they're the people that kind of are the inventors of this whole binge culture thing, but
yeah,
you know, that's a discussion for another time. But, what can I say about Cobra Kai? It just gets more and more ridiculous as it goes along. More and more like, what the hell is where did this come from?
Yeah.
More and more like, where is this leading? And more of like, why is this going on? And more of like, why do I keep watching this? But I will say this about Cobra Kai. When season 1 first aired, I did get, when it was on YouTube, I did actually subscribe to YouTube, whatever their streaming service was,
Red?
so I can catch Cobra Kai season 1, and I believe they offered the first episode free. And us, like I said, us as 90s kids, you know, I mean, I think it came out in the 80s.
Yeah,
not too sure,
80s.
but anyway, it's around that time when you were a kid and you watched this movie and you enjoyed Karate Kid for how ridiculous it was, but you still enjoyed it because you're a kid. You know, you're not into depth characters, like deep characters or deep plot lines.
Yeah,
you're just kind of like, you just want to see a guy crane kick a guy in the face, and you're just like, yeah, that was awesome. But I did enjoy season 1, and as the seasons got more and more, I mean, as more and more seasons were shot and aired, I kind of felt like it was less about Joey Lawrence. Joey Sensei Joe. What? I keep forgetting his name. Cobra Kai guy. Joey Lawrence.
Yeah. It's Joey Lawrence.
No,
wait, no, it's not Joey Lawrence. Like it's
because that was somebody I know.
Joey Lawrence is
that's so funny.
Yeah,
Joey Lawrence.
It's William Zabka. It's Johnny Lawrence. We're editing this out.
No, we're not. It was my mistake. Whatever, I own up to it.
You implanted it in my hand. I'm like, yeah, it's Joey. Wait, no, it's not. He's the guy.
Sorry.
Joey Lawrence, the guy that goes like, whoa. Another 90s staple, but
exactly, only the 90s kids would know. Everybody else is just like, what are these two talking about? But anyway, yeah, the one big problem I had with it is it became less about Johnny Lawrence and it became more about Daniel. Like, all of Daniel's rivals started showing up, and it became like, oh, Daniel against the guy in the ponytail, and it's just like, wait, like, you're kind of putting Johnny Lawrence in the back seat here. And that's one thing I kind of didn't like, the direction of the newer seasons as it progressed. I did enjoy it up to season 3, and the later seasons I wasn't a big fan of.
Okay, I disagree with the fact that with what you said about Johnny Lawrence taking a back seat, because sure, these are Daniel LaRusso's like rivals coming back. Obviously, that is to like add more depth or like to the world of like the Karate Kid films, and Johnny Lawrence wasn't in all of the Karate Kid movies, so yeah, they could introduce like new villains to like the story, but what they're doing is like they're bringing back villains already established in this universe, and to me it makes sense that yeah, Daniel LaRusso, it's his rivals coming back, but it's Johnny Lawrence has always been like in the center of it, and I like that. Sure, it might be a little repetitious, not a little, it's repetitious AF. With the rivalry, let me correct myself. I love this show, but like I see it for what it is, and it's super repetitious. And but I do like the yin and the yang of like Johnny and Daniel as like they're polar opposites, but they keep building their characters. Like, all right, like one of them's like a pacifist, another one's like super violent. They're trying to learn from each other. So when you say that Johnny Lawrence has taken a backseat, like I disagree. Sure, the characters that they've established, like the kids in Cobra Kai, they are being like spotlighted or highlighted a bit more, but that's fine because like these characters have been established. But Johnny Lawrence is growing as a character as well as the seasons progress, so I don't think he's like taking a step back by any means. That being said, it is like super repetitious, and yeah. I am still clearly a fan of the show just because like it for what it is. Like if they, and I think I said this for our last review, that if they had brought this silliness to this season out of nowhere, then I probably would have been like, oh whoa, what the hell is this? But no, it's been established that like, all right, this is a silly as hell TV show. I mean, we're talking about like somehow the whole valley really cares about karate, and it's a really big deal, and it's like, okay, it's silly as hell, so like they're leaning in all the way. Having said that, I am glad that it's ending finally. Not because I don't like it, but it's definitely like, all right, how many times are we gonna have these characters like be rivals again? Like, I get it, you need to build a tension and stuff like that, but why do we keep retracing steps? Like, how many times is Tori gonna like be a bad guy again? Yeah, which again,
I predicted when before that happened. I was like, when she started sparring and she was like, let me fight, and then I'm just like, oh, when she walked in, I was like, oh, she's gonna join Cobra Kai, and sure enough.
Which it's very predictable, and it's very like, okay, so we have set the bar for the final arc or whatever, and not all the characters are going to be able to come, but how can we get more characters to come to the final tournament? And it's obvious that, all right, cool, especially with what Tori's got going on, with like her mom just passing away, and she's just like in a dark spot yet again. We have her facing off with Sam yet again in Cobra Kai. It's like, yeah, retracing steps. So it's like, all right, as much as I'm enjoying this, and I'm still gonna, I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy the last two parts of the season. Yeah, like there's only so many times I'm gonna like be retracing these steps with you. It's still super fun. Let's end it now, because like clearly, like, all right, you want the Tori and Sam rivalry to live on, because they definitely can't go back to Miguel and Robbie's rivalry, because like they have like this brothership now or whatever, where it would be super silly for them to have it cross again, especially when Daniel and Johnny are crossing it again, you know. So we have like these rivalry things, so it's like, that's why
they're at each other's throats again in this season.
Yeah, so at least Robbie and Miguel, they finally, like, you know, let bygones be bygones, and they try to introduce like their girlfriends to, all right, let's all be part of the same team. At least that, stayed for at least part 1. Who knows what part 2 and 3 are gonna bring, but at least they put that rivalry to rest, and we still have the whole Daniel and Johnny rivalry. That's like, I think that one should still be like them butting heads, because like that's where the heart is. But the Sam and Tori is just like, we get it. It's like, we get it. Either have her commit fully to being Cobra Kai, or like don't have this at all, because like we've been through this since season 2 already. Like we're in season 6, and how is it that how many times has she like flip sides and stuff, and it's come on. And this coming from someone that really loves the show, you know.
I'll argue with that one. It kind of makes sense given that they're kids, they're written as kids, and teens tend to like hold grudges a lot longer. Like, you know, you and I were,
that's fair,
high school, very 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 long time ago, very very long time ago. But you know, when something's happened and you feel like it was the end of the world and my life is over, and that over emotion of over exaggerating everything. I mean, it's like that with those kids. I mean, I just kind of see it like, yeah, it makes sense to me. That's actually one of the things that makes sense in the characters. It's like, oh, I understand these kids go through these rapid emotions of like, oh, even with the slumber party, they're trying to make amends, but they just can't quite do it yet because they still have that brewing feeling of when they fought each other and they were practically about to kill each other. So it's hard to be like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just like time does tend to heal, especially given that age when you tend to hold grudges a lot longer than adults. Adults will just be like, you know what, it's funny because like Daniel and Johnny are like holding this grudge since forever, and it's just
they're like high school girls as well.
Those two kind of like, it kind of makes sense in my mind, like that would be reoccurring, that they'll kind of go through this up and down of like, oh, I kind of trust her, but I kind of don't. Are we really there yet? We're not. We're there. Oh, we're not there. It's just kind of, I know the ups and downs of those, and I kind of, that's the one thing that's, I think, in my opinion, the great writing of Cobra Kai in general, how they wrote the kids. It's kind of like, oh, okay, it just it's likely that they'll go through these type of dramas.
Yeah, I mean, I agree on that sense, that how the characters are written too, just because like I feel like the actors have like grown into like the characters like more, and yeah, so you care even about the new ones. Like Tori, she wasn't added till season 2, I believe, and she's like
I'm not sure the exact season, but she was the later.
And she's one of the mainstays, and you care about her, and that's like definitely one of I mean, I enjoy the whole thing. I enjoy how silly it is.
Character. I like Hawk.
Hawk?
He's still I'm a big fan of Hawk. Like,
of course.
The arc of this character, I'm really rooting for this kid. I'm just like, I really like him.
Yeah. So
and like, speaking of Hawk, like Dimitri this season, I thought was getting on the annoying side. It's just like, okay, bro, like,
like, dude,
it's like,
okay.
Like, Hawk doesn't want to go to college with you. It's just like, do you have to make such a big deal out of it? Do you have to do everything together? I mean, just just like, Hawk has a change of heart. Like, he
took it way too personal.
Friend. Yeah, I'm just like, and then I'm just like, bro, like, tone it down a notch. It's not that serious. We live in an age where you can talk to each other FaceTime. Like, it's just like, you don't have to. So it's just like, you guys won't lose. I'll take
it's not the same, but
it's not guaranteed. But like, it's just like, bro, come on. Like, your friend is like, he's growing up, and he's like having different opinions about like, oh, I wanted this, but maybe I want this now. I want to explore. And it's just like, you're there to kind of support him, and like, you don't want to hold him back and just force him into everything you want to do. Then you become selfish. I don't know. He became. Dimitri is one of the characters up until this season I liked too, but he really got on my nerves.
This season, he definitely getting on my nerves. Like, dude, relax. It's not like he's betraying you in the sense that like, all right, there's only spot for one more in this college, and you're both fighting for it, and blah blah blah. Like, no, this guy's like, and he's not like Eli or Hawk was telling him like, no, you can't go to the school because I don't want to go there. Or it's not like he was putting Dimitri down. It's like, oh, you're stupid for wanting to go to that school. What he said is like, I don't know if it's for me anymore. Like, go for it. I'm gonna go down my path. And so it's funny, but like what like your argument earlier about this is how kids are, and that's just another like aspect of like kids will be kids, where they're still in high school, like even if they look older because they are of high school age, but they like they don't realize that there's like more to this world or whatever than just like karate and school and stuff like that, and this is something that they're learning, and it adds on to like the silliness. That's not to say that he wasn't annoying as hell, Dimitri, this season, just because like we're like, oh my god, dude, he's still your friend, he's not betraying you, and like there's like worse things that he could have done. He just does not want to go to school with you or to the school. It's not even personal.
The kids are really well written in this, in my opinion. I mean, that's the way kids should be written, like this over emotional, over, everything, just everything is just like, like, everything in the world, everything sucks. No, everything is awesome. Everything sucks again. It's just like,
like, I hate you.
But I love you.
All right, and another thing I wanted to bring up was John Kreese. A great villain, don't get me wrong. How the hell are you wanted, like, by the cops and still traveling freely? How the hell? This obviously, like, you gotta suspend disbelief and whatnot but like that's just one of those things where I'm like, oh my god, this guy escaped prison and he's wanted by the cops. He's like, everyone's looking for him, but he's just going back and forth like to the country to like the whole like to have meetings. Like, all right, you could have called me, bro. Like,
no, it's like I think that clan, whatever, that super serious cult, whatever you call those group of kids in that group,
the new the new Cobra Kai, essentially.
The new Cobra Kai, like the extension of Cobra Kai. I think they're like
I forgot the name of it, but
deep pockets. Like I think on the last season that lead was flying like in a private jet. And I've never. I would like to hopefully one day, but it'd be a pretty cool experience. But like that I don't know what their customs procedures are, but I'm not sure that they go to the TSA. But I don't know. Maybe that's probably. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna defend Cobra Kai. The tables have turned.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, all right, come on, dude. Like you're just going back and forth willy nilly.
I don't know. I also was bothered with Daniel's son discovering Miyagi's quote unquote dark past, and it's just like, okay, like you as a grown man know that we all have skeletons in our closet.
Right.
Maybe we have some things that we're not proud of in our past, but what you can't deny what Mr. Miyagi meant to you. You mentioned him even after his death. Like you basically like. I think like you mentioned this guy, like he was a great mentor to you, and he was probably a great turn point in your youth. But I mean, just like you're an adult now, like you had some things that you don't want to probably bring up to your own kids, and just just past it. I don't want to mention. It's behind me. I'm not that person anymore. So like, why even mention it? It's just like I don't know, that part of it. It just seems like a scene that was added there just to be like, bro, you're like you're pushing 40. Maybe in your 50s, I don't know.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
he's
I'm not saying
60s.
real age, but as far as in the show,
like his character,
But it's just like Mr. Miyagi gave you like an all expense paid trip to Japan. He like gave you a car. He helped you opened up your bonsai shop. It's just like, bro, like this guy was like, let's say he did one bad thing in his past, like. Does that negate everything that he did for you? It's just kind of like that part was just like,
it's funny because
why?
I thought you were gonna go like a different route with this one, where like kind of like why are they doing this to Mr. Miyagi's like past or whatever. I personally like the way they're going with that. But no, I totally agree with you.
I agree with that part of it. I just don't like his reaction to it. It's just like I'm just looking as if I'm watching like as a character, I'm just kind of like, bro, get over it.
It's like sure, like you have him, like he has him literally on a pedestal.
Yeah,
But it's like, dude, he's human, and if anything, this should like make you put him even higher on a pedestal, because like not only does he have like a darker path, but obviously this was even before you met him, and he prevailed, and it turned him into this man that you idolize. But he doesn't
yeah,
see that.
exactly.
It's like somehow. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I just thought you were gonna go like a different take like a different
No, just
tone,
that
but
part
I'm like, oh hell
unfortunately
yeah, he
was that.
agrees with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I was watching that, and he was there like chasing him. I'm just like, bro, just let it go. Just let
Yeah.
it go. Just like let Miyagi, let him rest in peace. The guy is past. He's on to the next life. Just let him go in peace. Just leave it alone. Why dig up this ugly past of his?
Hmm. Yeah.
I am interested
Um.
to see where that past goes. I would like to see where it goes, but as far as like his reaction to it, it's just like, bro, come on.
Yeah. So I did
But I
see
guess we needed to
some.
push the plot forward, because if Daniel Russo's not curious about it and tries to find out, then there's no plot line to go forward with. But I mean, it's just him just as that as just a character, just kind of like, man, why?